You also made a strategic investment in Orbs.
Yeah, and BitMine made a $20 million investment in Orbs. Worldcoin, I think, is actually one of the really most unique projects out there, and especially in an increasingly agentic world where there's going to be autonomous agents and even robots. I think it's going to be important. So World is one of the few real solutions out there.
This is Elliot from the Early Stage Investor. On this channel, we dive into assets that can provide life-changing returns. So what is going to provide us life-changing returns next? We have to find those undiscovered, beaten down assets. That's why I'm very excited to talk about today's asset, which is EIGHTCO, ticker Orbs. What is EIGHTCO, ticker Orbs? Well, for starters, as of November 17th, EIGHTCO total holdings include 272 million world tokens, 11,000 Ethereum tokens, and unencumbered cash and stable coins of $58 million. EIGHTCO holds over 10% of the current world supply in circulation. So you're going to have to be very bullish on World, the WLD token. This is essentially a treasury company that buys and hoards the World token. You can stake the World token and get like a 10% yield. They're most likely going to be doing that. But what is the World token? We've covered it a lot on this channel. So if you want to dive more into what the World token actually is, there are other videos that do a deeper dive into the actual token. So you have to be bullish on the WLD token and understand it to be bullish on this company, because this company has entered into an agreement from time to time to issue and sell shares of common stock having an aggregate sales price of up to $2.7 billion to acquire the WLD token. So they are selling a lot of shares to acquire World. They've already acquired 10% of the circulating supply. So that is essentially what their equity is going to be used for. They're going to be selling it. But if you're bullish the World token, it can really work out because the World token is selling down, deep discount. This is where we make life-changing returns buying crypto. Very likely this asset could head to $10, and if it does, that would be something close to like a 15x from where we are. So again, how do we know that? How can we be bullish on the World token? Well, here's just one example, right? The enormous clothing company Gap and World, bridging the gap between humans and technology, live at Gap, Chestnut Street, San Francisco. Who is in this picture? We have Sam Altman, the creator of OpenAI, which has something like an 80% market share when it comes to artificial intelligence, large language models. They own ChatGPT, which just has an enormous market share. It's dominating the space. So it's going to be one of the biggest revenue generators. They're about to go public at a $1 trillion valuation plus, right? Everyone needs to own artificial intelligence. ChatGPT, OpenAI is the #1 play to do it. And the creator is marketing Worldcoin to companies like Gap. Every company on the planet will take the phone call from Sam Altman. All he has to do is continue marketing Worldcoin and we get massive adoption. All he has to do is integrate Worldcoin into ChatGPT and we get massive adoption. Worldcoin verifies proof of humanness. That is what its purpose is. Again, we've dived into Worldcoin on this channel a lot. So if you want to learn more about exactly what Worldcoin is, check out those other videos. But today we're talking about Orbs and how massive it is, that it is totally tied and linked to the upward trajectory of this asset that one of the most powerful, richest people on the planet is marketing aggressively to massive organizations. Really can't get more bullish than that. Mythical Games taps Sam Altman's World to keep players safe from bots. As part of the partnership, Mythical will build Mythos Chain, the first layer 3 blockchain atop World Chain, the layer 2 network built on top of Ethereum. What is Mythical Games? Well, first of all, EIGHTCO literally acquired Mythical Games. So EIGHTCO owns Mythical Games. Why is that massive? Because if we just look and compare blockchains by NFT sales volume, we see Ethereum #1, Bitcoin #2, we have Binance's BNB chain #3, and then we have Mythos chain #4 with something like $30 million of NFT sales volume. So it's a powerhouse blockchain that's being built on top of World Chain, and it's owned by EIGHTCO. Why is it so unbelievably massive? Because they have some of the biggest partnerships in all of gaming. FIFA, enormous. tens of millions of wallets. NFL, they have the NFL Rivals game, they have the Pudgy Penguins game. And so that's just three insane, huge properties built on top of Mythical Games. There's a reason this company bought it. There's a reason it's coming to Worldcoin and WorldChain. They want it. And these are some of the investors in EIGHTCO. The company is supported by a select group of strategic and institutional investors, including Bitmine, the world's largest multi-billion-dollar Ethereum treasury company, Mosaics, World Foundation, guess who controls essentially the World Foundation? Sam Altman, right? So he's an investor in EIGHTCO. Wedbush Securities, Coin Fund, Discovery Capital Management, FalconX, Kraken, Pantera, GSR, Brevin Howard, and more. So a deeply, deeply connected and integrated company in the AI world. And so again, anyone will answer the call of this company. And they're doing a lot more than just stacking the world token. That's what makes it exciting. That's why there can be a premium built into the stock well beyond what its treasury holdings are, because there could be massive exponential growth. When there's massive exponential growth, you become an expensive stock like NVIDIA or like OpenAI. Introducing Infinity by Orbs, which brings authentication to the enterprise and commercial with inaugural partners, including Coinbase, Kraken, and more. Infinity by Orbs addresses proof of human authentication at scale to a wide range of industries, including finance, advertising, gaming, and government. Again, everyone will answer the call of Sam Altman. He's going to be marketing this service to everyone, to every massive company, including obviously OpenAI and Microsoft, which owns a big chunk of OpenAI, and NVIDIA, which owns a chunk of OpenAI. So this has global potential scale and massive revenue potential as they roll out this service to enterprises. So the truth of the matter is, Sam Altman has this grand vision of the future. He's been spot on. He obviously owns OpenAI, a big chunk of OpenAI. He's an owner of EIGHTCO, which is the nuclear power generation company designed to power the enormous AI infrastructure. It has skyrocketed. That was one of our early calls on this channel, right? Small modular reactor stocks. That was EIGHTCO. Well, here's another company that he has a big ownership stake in. Obviously, he owns AI. He owns the power plants that are going to power AI, but he also wants to own the human network, right? The humans that are going to be using AI. So he really wants a lot of power. I'm not saying I'm for or against insane control by these people, but you have to know what's going on. Either own it or get owned by it. This is the future we are living in. And again, this is one of the most powerful people on the planet. And he's building out this insanely valuable network. Here's what he said about Worldcoin. If we succeed in our mission, World might become the largest network of real people online, fundamentally changing how we interact and transact throughout the internet, says Sam Altman. The largest network of humans, right? He wants to own the humans, he wants to own the power generation, and he wants to own the actual AI itself. Obviously, he's not going to own the humans. Humans are actually, the beauty of blockchain is that humans are actually going to get ownership of their data. And the orb actually doesn't own people's personal data. All it does is verify humanness. Once the humanness is verified, the human can take their data and monetize and use it in the World app. And the World app is a whole other can of worms. It's brand new. Nearly 1 year after the launch of mini apps, developers across the globe have built over 500 mini apps on World, right? So developers across the world building metaverses and use cases in the new digital world that's being built out. Obviously, the World app is going to be a huge part of that. Another way is Sam Altman kind of owning the future, right? The future is the metaverse. It's the digital world. It's where real humans can come and create businesses and create value, right? So imagine when ChatGPT starts to create metaverses within the World app. We have a digital universe. We have real humans attached to it. It's powered by AI. And it's powered by EIGHTCO. That's kind of the vision, the massive long-term vision. So can EIGHTCO holdings absolutely skyrocket and provide life-changing returns? 100%. Right now, the market cap is like $500 million. Can that hit a $10 billion market cap in the next 3 or 5 years? Absolutely. That would be a 20x. Can it hit a $20 billion market cap as it starts to generate revenues? Absolutely. Can it hit a $50 billion market cap in the next 10 years? It really can. That would be 100x. This is not financial advice. Who knows what happens? Elon Musk is suing OpenAI. Who knows if that plays out? Obviously incredibly risky, but incredibly massive reward if it all plays out according to plan. But right now, this company is a bet on OpenAI, which currently is a huge bet, a very promising potential bet, according to Wall Street. Again, it's trying to IPO at a $1 trillion plus valuation. If that happens, then that validates essentially the investment case. They're not worried about Elon Musk's lawsuit. Wall Street isn't worried about Elon Musk's lawsuit, so that is where we are. Unbelievable opportunities right now, early stage, undiscovered assets. Look at the chart. The market is sleeping on this potential asset. If the market's bullish OpenAI, they have to be bullish on EIGHTCO.